So Dr. Melody Shari, the queen of the core three ladies, honey, they get together to clear the air. Is it fair to say that that really happened? Let's get into it.
Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip Sensibility. Welcome to my channel, baby. Sip Sensibility.
Hey, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. All right, y'all. So let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So this is season 8, episode 3. There's new beefcakes on the block, child. So we're going to do this in 2 parts. I'm going to jump to the second part. All right, so for this particular review, let's talk about Dr. Melody Shari, Kimmie, and Latisha. They meet up. So apparently this was filmed around the New Year. So they meet up at a woman's own business, which happens to be a plant store, Botanical Huntsville, owned by Kit. All right. So I love the fact that they actually chose this botanical store, this plant store to go to, because when you think of plants, and as Melody said, oh, look at all of this life in the room. You think about oxygen, right? Breathing. And so as they try to clear the air, the ladies, it will be interesting to see if that actually happens, right? And also plants can represent rebirth. So let's see if these ladies can revitalize their relationship. Don't know about that, but let's see what happens. So as Melody greets Kimmie as she comes into the plant store, she immediately tells her she looks beautiful. And Kimmie immediately notices the blonde, short style. And when Tisha comes in, she notices it as well. And they love that old do. And even making comments like, is this the old mailbag? So to me, it's kind of symbolic of wanting her to kind of stay locked into a place of when they were all on one accord. Well, hell, they were never really on one accord because they've always had some ish. Back before Mel blew up. She always was the ish. She always was that girl, but before she was on this level. That was their level of comfort with Melody. And to me, that hairstyle and color symbolizes that. But let's continue. So anyway, for this particular activity, they're going to be potting plants and such. So the ladies get caught up, okay? So as the ladies get caught up, we learn that Latisha went to Africa with Marcel and the family. And honey, I love Melody Shay. She was like, oh, okay, so Marcel didn't go to Africa by himself this time. Okay, he didn't go by himself last damn time either. We don't even know if he really went to South Africa like he said he did. Okay. So unfortunately, Kimmie stated that they didn't get to go on vacation this time because we learned that her mother had breast cancer. And unlike Kimmie's diagnosis, which happened to be triple negative, which was a fast-growing cancer or carcinoma, her mom has triple positive, which was a slow-growing cancer. So we learned that she's doing fine. She had the surgery and she spent some time with Kimmie recovering. Okay, so that's a blessing. That is truly a blessing that she is over that hurdle. God is good. And Kimmie goes on to say that her and Maurice are back on track. They're working on a couple of properties. Now, I know that y'all peep game, so they bleeped out the name of the properties or the name of the business venture or whatever she's selling, but they beeped it out, and probably because they don't want to be doxxed. Okay, they're probably afraid somebody's going to look it up, child. But if everything's above board and y'all about y'all business, you don't have to worry about that stuff. But anyway, that's just me. But she goes on to say that they had 8 units and there's one left. And she tells Tisha that it has her name all over it. And Tisha's like, oh, I might have to take that. And Kimmie says, we're laughing, but she's serious. If you need that space that we can, rent it out to you or whatever. Now, Melody chimes in. She was like, well, the last time we all got together, Tisha, you mentioned that you'll be more of a stay-at-home mommy, okay? Now, I want y'all to kind of peep that. Now, you know that Tisha has an MBA. She has an MRED, which is a master's in real estate development, and she's a licensed broker. Now, she has all of these degrees. She has all this education. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about education myself, right? But she's not putting it to use, okay? So she goes on to say that balancing it all is difficult and thought once Mila, her youngest, was in school, that she would have more free time, right? But she says that she's struggling with trying to balance it all because she participates in activities for school with the kids. Now, and her son like 16, like at least a sophomore and junior in high school. So I would assume that he has sporting events. The only thing I could think is she's playing chauffeur. She probably takes the kids to school, her two youngest daughters. I wanted to say the oldest may be driving by now. I think he is. But so she probably has to do that, right? But I'm just like, but you got time during the day. You're not at PTA meetings every week, Tisha. I mean, you can find time to nurture your business, right? Because, honey, I looked it up. I said, let me see what she got going on. And so she got, little videos. Let me show this clip.
We're here at the new soccer stadium here in Huntsville, Alabama. If you're looking to move to Huntsville, now is the time. Huntsville is growing and developing, and this is the perfect opportunity. I'm Latisha Scott with Scott Realty. Call me 256-403-7368 and let's invest. I'm Latisha Scott with Scott Realty. Give me a call and let me turn your outdated plaza into a profit-producing premier retail plaza that everybody in town would like to rent from. Call me 256-403-7368.
So as you can see, she has Scott Realty Company, but when you go to the website, it's like a broken link. It doesn't really show anything. And then when I looked again, it kind of went back to an old website that they had that had a different name. And back then it said that she was a manager. So it seems like she's licensed to sell commercial real estate, but what are you doing with it? And it looks like they have sold some things, and looks like back in maybe October or May, she did sell a few properties, or maybe Marceau did. I don't think he has his realtor license, so maybe it was her. But I'm like, honey, if you're really impassioned about that thing, you put the time in. And so for her to say that she didn't have time, is that her words or is that Marceau's words speaking for her? Okay? Now, one thing he's going to do is control the hell out of her. He does not support her career, and he just diminishes everything that she does. Remember, he gave Gino, his operations manager at the time. I don't think he's still with Scopes, if I'm not mistaken. But at the time, Tisha's office space, he gave it to him. He don't take her seriously, allegedly, and in my opinion, and as we've seen, from other sources, he puts things in Tisha's name so he can get set aside and bid on things as a small woman-owned business and could get lower bids, straight up, and putting all that debt in her damn name. Ooh, Tisha, you's a good one, but I don't want to go too far down that damn rabbit hole because I think we're well aware of the legal woes and troubles that they've had and the debt that he's put in her name. But it's really sad to see, and I hate that for her. I really hate that for her, that she can't establish her damn career, okay? So anyway, they segue over to Melody, and they go on to discuss what's going on with her. So I guess Tisha, after she laid all her burdens out, child, she was like, I want to know what's up with you. So, of course, they brought up the whole Martell getting arrested for harassing communications. They brought that up. Now, high key, her and Kimmie both knew what was going on because Tisha was able to well articulate the fact that Melody put in a warrant for him to be arrested. Okay, so she was able to articulate that because remember, Tisha brought Carson to that high tea party. Remember a season or two ago, right? When she was very quiet at that high tea party with that smirk. Carson was there. And as we learned, Carson was the one that advised Melody that Arion, the bedbug, okay, the bird brain, had the damn tape and was trying to solicit people low key to put out the video of her and Martell under the guise that Melody was with somebody else and we knew it was Martell. But anyway, Carson had enough integrity to tell Melody, look, I need to let you know what's going on, because Melody would have been none the damn wiser. And we also learned a few seasons back through social media, how in the hell we learned that Carson may have told Tisha about it. And Tisha told her, girl, just stay out of it. Don't get into it. And so Tisha was going to let that happen to Melody, which is some effed up ish. Now that's foul as a mofo to know that type of information, which could have ruined her, okay? Which could have had a huge impact on her reputation. Knowing that woman has 4 kids, that you are willing to just let that slide under the table and slip under the rug and telling her not to get into it, that's some evil shit right there. That's evil. But thank God that Carson thought better of it and told Melody. Okay, but I digress. So Melody went on to tell Tisha that Marceau had made a statement about it, and she said that she makes it a point not to speak on their situations because Lord knows what their legal woes and issues they're going through. She says she just stay out of it. But Marceau does not give her that same respect, okay? Basically, she let Tisha know as a courtesy, I will be checking that ass, and I'm just letting you know my issues with him are not your fight, but I'm just letting you know, okay? So they show Kimmie in a confessional, and she said that hearing Melody explain it to them and that way made it make more sense for her. And actually, it looks like she felt bad or an ounce of regret that it made more sense than she gave her credit for. Because Melody laid it out on the line, how Ariane had the video, showed it to her sister, and she said once everything started to line up after Carson told her, even though they didn't air that, okay? Once everything started to come together and the puzzle piece is like, look, I need to get on this ish because I've let too much stuff slide with this mofo, which lets me know that he was continuously harassing her and always doing shit to where she just was like, this is just one more thing, okay? And she just kind of let it go and ignored it, but she couldn't ignore this, okay? Because this was way too serious, right? But I tell you what, that Martell is a low-down dirty bastard if I ever seen one. He don't give a F about them kids. He could care less about them. His hate for Melody supersedes any love that he claims to have for his kids. Again, let me repeat that. His hate for Melody and his love for himself far outweigh his love for his kids, okay? That he supposedly has. Well, anyway, so Tisha finally says after 8 damn seasons, well, maybe there's no hope for him. You think? There was never damn hope for him, child. So anyway, Melody goes on to ask, well, how come I haven't heard from you? Because they're in a better place, at least on the surface, right? You know, almost like frenemies, of forced friendship. They're co-workers for the show, but they're not coming at each other. So they're in a better space from that regard. And Tisha claims that she didn't know when there is a right time to reach out to Melody. And she's just, I just don't know. And Kimmie said, well, there is really no right time. She said that she reached out to Melody, and Melody said, I received your text. And basically, she was like, no. I called first and then I text because your mailbox is full. Okay. Melody acknowledged that, and she probably didn't want to talk to them. And something that sensitive, I don't blame her because they're just not her people, right? But Tisha did admit that Melody has been doing better and on her part and trying to reach out and salvage whatever relationship that they do have. And so that she could have reached out. So anyway, Melody just cuts to the chase. Well, how come y'all didn't come to the podcast, right? And she tells them that this was a public event. And so they cut over to the confessional, and Tisha is still holding a grudge, basically, once bitten, twice shy. Or did she just not want to go? So basically, they do a flashback to when Melody had her escorted from an event way back first, second season or whatever. And she said she was embarrassed as hell. She was like, I'm never putting myself in that position again. But here's the thing, you know, if you're going to forgive somebody, forgive it. But she said, I can forgive you, but I'll never forget. Well, no, you're holding a grudge, sis. Let's be clear. But anyway, it wasn't even Melody's event. It's really Carlos's tour, and Melody was the guest host, right? Or the guest appearance person. So it was Carlos's event. But this tells me a couple things. So Tisha was like, if I don't get personally invited by Melody, I'm not going to show up. I don't think her and Kimmie wanted to go, point blank, period. Let's be clear, okay? They didn't want to go. And even though it was Carlos's event, it was a packed house because of the millimeters, because of the love for Melody Shari. Let's not get it twisted. Let's be clear here, right? So Kimmie came clean, and she was like, well, let me just say why I didn't go, because the people that tend to flock to you, Melody, are mean to her and Tisha, talking about the millimeters, right? And she said, according to what they heard from Sonny, that the energy was negative. And Melody was like, oh, no. Let me clarify some things. The energy was negative because it came out that Sonny is now married to Moses, and Sonny was Destiny's former producer. And the people thought it was foul, you know? And I like Sonny. I happen to like her, but yeah, it is kind of foul how it all went down. We can keep it a buck, right? But that's why Sunny said that because the energy that she received. And so they all were in agreement and they were on one accord in terms of how Sunny hooked up with Moses, how it was kind of foul, and that maybe she owes Destiny a conversation, or maybe Moses does. So, okay, they were in agreement about that to include Melody. And I want to say Kimmie may have asked whether or not Melody spoke to Destiny, and she's like, no, she didn't speak to her. If I'm not mistaken, oh, she said something like, well, she's your friend. And she was like, she was my friend. She know damn well they ain't friends no more, child. Okay, and then it came up about girl code, how they felt like that was broken girl code, what Sunny did. And Melody had to laugh, girl code, as if to say, Destiny, when has she ever honored damn girl code? Which she has not, right? And that's when, okay, Kimmie was like, well, isn't she your friend? And then Melody was like, she was my friend. And Tisha was like, well, you should know a person's character. In other words, no, she don't have character or integrity. In my opinion, Destiny is a user, she's opportunistic, and she's a clout chaser. As I said in another video, go check it out if you haven't, and it's labeled Manifest Destiny. And I think Kimmie was like, well, it ain't like she slept with your man. And Melody was like, I don't know what Destiny does. I know that's right, because they're way too chummy, honey. And she was willing to goddamn throw Melody under the bus, roll over her, and to make sure, and then come back again around the corner to make sure that her ass was dead, okay, when it came to Martell. She totally was on Martell's side with her vengeful ass, you know? Child, she wanted all the perks and the access and everything that Melody has, child. She got on the wrong team, period, because she's a hater, right? So anyway, it kind of closes out and it goes in a confessional. And Melody says, after what Martell attempted to do to her and her having to get him arrested, it gives her a whole new appreciation for loyalty. And she knows who her real friends are and who the fake ones are. Okay? Her frenemies, because whether you like Tisha, Kimmie, or not, those aren't her friends. That's not her tribe. That's not her crew. Okay? They just don't vibe like that. They're co-workers, they're cordial, they can film for the show, they're a part of the core six. That's it. That's all, period. But anyway, y'all drop that in the comments and y'all tell me what y'all think about that part of the episode. And again, I'll do the initial part with Sunny and the new couple next time. But anyway, this is Sensibility Speaks. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.